Hello and welcome to You Beauty. This is The Formula and I'm Kelly McCarren. Today we are tackling one of the biggest issues in beauty right now, and that is waste. There is so much plastic. Everything that we order arrives with bubble wrap, and today we are talking to someone who has absolutely changed the game in Australia, and that is the founder and CEO of Hero Packaging and the author of How to Sell Anything, Anaita Sarkar.
Before Hero, I had this other business, which was like personalizing leather goods onto, bags and wallets and things. And I loved it.
What was it called?
It was called Olivia and Co. And
Oh,
it was like a
I think I
direct
remember it.
copy of, the Daily Edited. I just wanted to get out of a 9 to 5 and I started this business and I just loved it. Like I realized that that's all I wanted to do in my life was be in business. And so this small business was growing and it was like 1 order a day, 10 orders a day. And then there was this one moment, like it was peak season and I had 60 orders coming in a day. And I was so excited. It was school holidays. I was packaging orders. I got my 2 girls who were really young at the time and they came in and they were packing with me. And it was just like this one moment. I looked around the room and it was packages everywhere, like piled up, 60, 80 packages, all plastic, all single use. And my kids were sitting there in the middle of the piles, like playing with all that waste and thinking it was so cool and tying it up and plaiting it. And I was like, that's disgusting. I never really thought about waste before, like, or sustainability. It wasn't really something that I grew up with, but I looked around the room and I was like, that looks really terrible. And I can't believe this is like one business day, one person making all this waste and it's going to go straight into the bin. And so it was that moment I looked around and I was like, I think I want to make a change for my business and I don't want to use this plastic anymore. It was just like a tiny little thought that I had. And I went home and I was like, I'm just going to find the solution. When I really was like creating Hero, before even creating the business, all I wanted to do was just not use plastic in my own business. It was not meant to be a business idea. I just didn't want to use all that shit.
It was more so that you thought I need to find a better way to package my products.
Correct. I wanted something so that I wasn't putting the burden on my customers to like throw it in the bin and feel crap about it.
And for anyone playing along at home, when you think about how much waste there was from 60 sales in the day, let us take a moment to think about what the factory of Shein would look like.
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
it's actually terrifying.
Have you actually ordered from Shein?
No,
Okay.
I am morally opposed, but then someone pointed out that it's not that much better from Amazon. I have ordered on Amazon, so I'm like, I don't.
Actually, that's so true. I have seen the hauls on TikTok.
Oh, they're disgusting.
It's disgusting. It's actually just waste everywhere. Like they're ripping open these packages and it's just one person buying 4 things, but the plastic waste is
It's
all
just
over
everywhere.
the
And it's
shop.
also like then they just are ordering ridiculous things for the views, and it's the amount of consumption and waste that companies like, and I will say at least on Amazon, you're only purchasing things that you need. Like you're not doing hauls.
Yes.
Well,
yeah,
I've never seen
exactly.
anyone go, this is what I got in my Amazon haul.
No, they do in America and that's coming here, right? So they're going to do
Ah.
like all the hauls here because all the fashion is coming here. That hasn't launched on Amazon yet. That's
Okay.
coming, unfortunately.
It's all just plastic crap.
It is.
So you went out and you were like, okay, I can't find it. And then that's when you decided to talk to us about that process then. Then
Well,
you go, oh, rats, it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. Well, what existed was boxes and paper packaging, both horrible for my business. Boxes, super expensive to ship. It just like 3x to my shipping fee. And then paper was like, you put a little droplet of water on it and it just like breaks apart.
Disintegrates
So
everywhere, yeah.
I was like, I can't use anything like that. And then I went to Woolies and I saw a fruit and vegetable like bag, which was compostable. And I was like, that's what I want. That's what I need. And so I just took that concept and I took a photo and I sent it to Alibaba manufacturers. And I was like, go make this for me. And they were like, this is not possible. But I was like a dog with a bone. I was like, I've got to solve this thing. And then 9 months later, I got my first prototype, which actually looked good and it looked and acted like plastic, but it was like strong. And then I put it in my home compost bin and I could see it breaking down and I was like, oh my God, I think I've solved my own problem. This is the coolest thing ever. And I guess as an entrepreneur, you just feel so excited because you're like, I think I solved this. That's all you want to do in life. You just want to solve problems. And so then I was like, great, I'm going to do it. The problem that I had was that I needed to order 10,000 as a minimum order quantity. How was I going to use 10,000? I was shipping 60 orders a day.
Mm.
And so then I asked all my business friends if they wanted it, and they were like, hell yeah. And so then I was like, oh my
Hold
God, I
on.
think I've got a business.
Yeah.
Like 15 out of 15 people said yes. So I was like, I think I've got a business idea. And that's kind of where it all started.
And what do you think made people say yes straight away? Because obviously it is more expensive than plastic, I'm assuming.
It is, yeah.
What do you think drove that initial just straight away yes from everyone?
I think it's because I used the word sustainable, and I said, do you want to not use plastic anymore? I've got this alternative. Can you test it for me? Would you be interested in just trying it? It was just a trying moment. And they were all like, absolutely, we want to try that.
I really love that though, because I have to admit that I am often quite cynical, I think. And I just always assume that a lot of companies choose the sustainable option, if there is one, because they want to be able to tell their customers that they are a sustainable brand or that they're looking after things on a eco front.
Yeah.
So it's actually quite that even they didn't even know if they would be able to market as such, I guess.
Yeah.
But that they were straight away like, yes.
I mean, I think for them it was like, if there is something even a little bit better than what I'm currently using, why not give it a go?
When, I guess they're witnessing the sheer amount of shit that
and everyone is, right?
Yeah.
And then also what I find is that customers tend to complain a lot. So they complain, and rightfully so, they complain and they ask questions, and they're constantly hounding businesses now about like, hey, so where do I put this? Do I put this in the bin? Do I put it in a recycling bin? What do I do with it? Like, I feel like I'm buying all your bottles of stuff, and like, where do I what do I
There's no
do with
clear way
it? Yeah, there's no
yeah.
instructions. And so business owners are always trying to solve that for their customers too. So that it was a really easy yes.
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
because I guess then they're making up that cost because they're not dealing with hundreds of customer inquiries per day.
Yeah.
So we've all felt that pang of just, and I mean, it happens to me still so often where I will get something I've ordered or it's PR and it's a giant box that arrives at my house. And I'm like, oh, cool. What's in? Oh, that's fun. The amount of just plastic and crap that's inside that box for a product that's like a couple of lip glosses. It's just insane.
Yep.
So we've all sort of had one of those experiences, I think, with plastic. But it was that pang that then led you to Hero. So were you for a while then using it for that monogrammed leather goods brand?
Yeah. That's all I used it for. And then
so it wasn't that you dove straight into the Hero packaging business.
No,
okay.
I just remember calling my husband when everyone said yes, they want to try it. I remember calling him going, hey, I think I've got a business idea. And he's like, what's new? He was like, explore it. And he said to me, I think this is a really good idea. If you can get our first 100 paying customers, I'll leave my job and I'll join you in that. And so he was like, if you can do that for me, I'll actually leave my job. So I was like, challenge accepted.
Yeah.
So my job was to get 100 paying customers. And you know what? The way I did that was so clever. Thank you very much, me. I did a Google ad and I basically like ran it to a page where I was giving away free mailers. And I just said like, take a free mailer. And then a week later, we had over 1,000 people. And I said to my husband, I'm like, we've got 1,000 customers. He's like, no, they haven't paid for anything yet. So until you get 100. And then about 2 months later, we had 70% of them come back, which was our first 700 paying customers. And then I was like, well, I got a business.
You better quit.
He quit his job.
Oh my God. Within a few months.
Yeah.
What do you think is the biggest thing in sustainable packaging that a lot of brands are going to jump on or are jumping on right now?
From what I've seen, okay, you know, we've heard about this 100 times, but refillable packaging is like a huge thing. So like Dermalogica, for example, they're like focused on refills, constant refills. They can get a little bit confusing and a little bit messy, and they're very hard logistically to do. But refills are a huge one. And so
but
it's
so many things you can't refill.
You can't.
Or you're just
I know.
not going to.
And people don't buy it. I know. So like that's something that they're focused on. I think something else is, you know what brands should be focused on is like more information and more education. It's actually not that hard to do. So if I was a brand, I would be having like, you know, if you have your beauty products or you've got a box or something and they're like, but I have no space to put on like recycle or do this or do that or it's made from XYZ. have a little QR code. I would just want all any brand to have a QR code, and that can go to a live page that you can constantly update, and it has all the stuff on there. You know, that's something that I think is like such a small thing that brands can do, but they don't. I think another thing that brands are doing, which I think is awesome. So TBH, or like the breakout hack, what she's doing is using sugarcane like materials for all of her beauty packaging as well.
Oh.
So that's like renewable sources, and it's also much easier at end of life. It's just like a really good natural product that you can use. So I think there's like a bunch of things that you can do, but big brands, what they need to do is, one is think about the consumer first. Refills, if customers don't like them and they're not going to use them, stop focusing on them. Maybe focus on education and teaching people to not overconsume first. I would say that's like number one.
How do you think that we can do that though? How do you think businesses can do that? Because for me as a podcaster, the way that I do it is I'm like, I know that I'm recommending another new mascara, but I'm not telling you to go buy it. I'm telling you to go buy it if you're looking for a new one.
Exactly.
Like,
wait until you're done
finished.
with the
you
other
don't
one.
need 6 mascaras. No one does.
So that's one thing. Another thing I would say is like multi-use products would be really good at this. So instead of going like buy a shampoo and a body wash and a face wash and a this and a that, and you've got like 900 steps in your shower routine, there are some really cool brands out there that are like amalgamating, I guess, few things in one. So like the hair wash as a soap is a body wash as well, and it works in both capacities. Even, do you remember that little hack back in the day? What's that dandruff brand that is Nizoral or something?
Oh yeah.
Do you
The
remember
people
that?
were using that as a face wash?
Yes. And like you can actually clear a lot of your acne with that, and it's an anti-dandruff shampoo as well.
Because it's antibacterial.
So like multi-use products can actually save on a lot of waste too. It's like a really simple thing that brands can do.
What's the biggest thing that you see beauty companies do in terms of greenwashing? Because I think that is more rife than ever, like with the people saying different claims or saying that you can compost something but you can't, or clean beauty and all of those silly claims.
You are saying exactly the right thing. I think it's when you use words like, we are more sustainable than before. You're like, then what though? What does that mean? I think it's like the little words in there that they use, eco-friendly and sustainable greenwashing. There was a study done where they asked a whole, like thousands of consumers what they look for in beauty products when it comes to labeling. And the first one that they voted on was non-toxic. Second one was cruelty-free, and the third one was sustainable. But what is
All
is
three of those
that?
things are just marketing words.
Right. And do you know what's so interesting about this is that sustainability in a lot of big brands is actually under the marketing department and not under like product.
Because it just means like
Because perception is everything.
Exactly. They probably plant a tree a year.
Yeah,
Or
maybe.
they've reduced plastic by 5% over the past 20 years. But
Yeah,
it's still,
correct.
it is just a marketing term, just like toxic, non-toxic. What does that
Yes.
mean? Everything's toxic in a large enough dose.
Right.
Water.
You can't say chemical free either. Everything is a chemical. It doesn't make sense. So what I want is like when you are looking at a product, I want you to train yourself and basically look at it and go, okay, someone has said they are a clean beauty product or they are sustainable. How? Just ask yourself how. And so when you ask yourself that question, it's like, okay, does it say anywhere on the bottle what that means? So sometimes what brands will do is go, we are more green or we are eco-friendly. This bottle is made from 50% bio-based materials. And then you have to like look a little bit further and go, you're made from bio-based materials, which actually means the other 50% is petroleum based. Then it also means it can't go in a recycle bin because it's mixed materials. You're not making sense. So instead of saying that I'm sustainable, do you know what brands should bloody do, which I would love, is actually just have something on their website or their report or whatever, which says like, we are struggling, but this is what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
You know, I just would love to see a little bit more
clarity.
transparency around
Because
that.
as well, when you're looking at the bottle or package of something, there's a huge difference between someone that's just said non-toxic, which means nothing, or this product doesn't have X, Y, Z in it, which might be specific ingredients you're looking, like just the language difference.
I think it's specifics.
Exactly. You use color and fun. So at what stage did hero packaging turn into really fun colors? I'm sure that it wasn't, or did it from the get-go?
It was from the get-go. I mean,
Oh,
packaging
okay,
is
that's cool.
boring as
It
hell.
is.
Sustainability is boring as hell too. Like cardboard boxes are boring. That's what we do. We manufacture boxes all day long. And
But
so
you've decided to make it a little bit fun.
well,
with,
we have to
yeah.
and I think that if any brand is starting and you don't have a personality, what you're doing is selling a product and you could probably get that product anywhere. So what you need to do is have some kind of personality to shine through, to cut through the noise. Like one thing we did was, we have compostable packaging, right? We started with 3 colors, pink, black and white. And the pink we chose was like that millennial pink, Frank Body style.
Mm.
And we thought, well, Frank Body was big at the time. And I remember just thinking, if we have that pink, so many brands are trying to copy them and they're going to use our pink. And they did. And we got tagged and we got shared and mentioned on social media so much. It was like one of the best things that we did. So we realized that color is actually a big part of selling our packaging.
Which a lot of people wouldn't consider. They would just think, oh, just make it
Make it
plain.
black. Yeah, make it
plain.
white.
Yeah,
like,
just
yeah,
to-
plain. That's all you need. And like, that's what packaging is. It's boring. But packaging can actually like make the entire experience so good. And, when you're starting a brand, the best thing that can happen to you is like people tag you.
Yes.
And you have to be taggable for that to happen.
Yes, to say like, thank you for like, this looks like a present, or
Yeah.
this is
And
so
they want to
cool,
take a
or-
photo of it.
Yes. I always think of Glossier as a good example
Yeah.
of like just brilliant branding.
Yes.
Because I was in New York once and I don't care about the products, but I went into the store to take a photo and to like look around at everything because it was just so aesthetic and so
Oh, it's so beautiful.
And the whole experience
I
is so
agree.
lovely. Like you want to buy something even if the products aren't good because it's an experience.
But no overconsumption.
Yes, exactly. I bought one thing and
Yeah.
got the little pouch.
No, but that happens to me with Charlotte Tilbury too, because it's
Oh.
so like glittery and like glam and you think, oh, because I could look like that.
Yeah, I'll look like that very face-tuned, blurry
Yeah.
person with glitter over them.
That's what I want.
When we think about, like you touched on refills, but they're still quite messy. Is that actually logistically helping, do you think? Is it like something that's actually going to be really convenient and scalable for people? Because so many,
Yeah.
as you said, so many people are introducing it into their business model. And to be completely honest, it's sometimes in really ridiculous categories.
I don't know if it's truly scalable, if I'm honest with you, because
Mhm.
I feel like big businesses might be able to make it work. But it's actually not what they're trying to do. It's what the customer will end up doing. And the customer is going to end up buying the same product in the same bottle over and over again, rather than buy the refills and like pour in something and do something like that. Unless you're making it super easy, like putting a little funnel in there and then you're like helping them to do it. It's so hard.
Or giving them an incentive, a really good incentive.
Yes, like
So-
exactly. Like what's that one where you can return your bottles and get like 10 cents? You know how kids do that? Like you return plastic bottles and then you get that. You can do things like that too. But ultimately,
if you did free refills, like, but you had to go in
Ooh.
store or something, that would be cool.
oh my God, that would be so
Because
cool.
then a lot of people would still then buy
How would
something else.
the business make money though?
Well, you've got to charge an awful lot for the upfront bottle and have it just so beautiful that a lot of people want it. So, but it's probably then only like, well, you get a free refills for a year and then you got to pay for the next year or something like that, like a subscription for
Yeah.
refills. I love a subscription model, but the problem is that in this society of overconsumption, is that people are always wanting to try different things,
They
or they'll see
do.
something on TikTok and they'll be like, I want to try that new cool brand. Who cares about the old one? Like
Oh my
no one's
God.
loyal to different brands.
It's the social media side of things that's made it so much worse.
Mm.
And I have fallen victim
me
to
too.
this. Like I
Yet
do it
9
all the
times
time.
out of 10, I'm disappointed. It's not as
Yes.
good as what it looked like online.
We can't do that anymore. This planet is actually not going to survive if we keep
Our
working
kids
like that.
are- exactly. And we are, well, I'm saying that to you as someone that recommends things though. But once again, it's if you need it. There was this last year we were talking about a couple of things from Kmart and then it was sold out at like every Kmart. And it's like, guys,
Yeah.
love that you love and trust our recommendation so much, but I'm pretty sure not
Exactly.
every single person in Australia needed it.
Yep. I agree with you. And now you can see Kmart doing the dupes, right? Like they're doing the MCO style dupes as well. And it's just that thing of like that younger consumer. I was actually listening to one of your episodes. Like that younger consumer is like really going after these high end products, but they want the dupe version and they're just buying them left, right, and center. I have an 11-year-old girl and her birthday party was, they all just said to me, I said, what do you want to do? And they said, we just want to go to Kmart and buy like all the skincare dupes. And I was like, no, can we go and like play like
Do
mini playing golf or
something fun,
something.
yeah.
That's what they
I mean, going
want.
to Kmart is fun. I will say it's going fun, but
It
not if
is.
I was 11.
11 and buying skincare dupes?
No, go and play.
I was like, no, that's not happening.
What would you say with Hero was the biggest challenge in trying to make the packaging sustainable? Well, you said it took 9 months. Did you?
It took 9 months to make it sustainable and to make it what I wanted. Yeah, that was the biggest challenge of all time. Second challenge I'll say is that sustainable products are more expensive. So trying to convince every brand in Australia to buy sustainable products, even though they want to be a sustainable brand, they can't justify the price, and therefore they'll go back to the cheaper products, the cheap and nasty. I think that's a really big part of my business that we're trying to convince
Educate
brands.
people.
Yeah, like that it's really important. So what we do actually, I think it's pretty smart, is try and educate the end customer to demand sustainability from the brands that they buy from. So we're not educating the brands, we're educating the end consumers to demand that from brands.
From the brands.
Yeah.
You went the opposite from industry, the big dogs. How do you think people can cut through the noise in a crowded market?
Oh my God. So I actually came prepared for this question, by the way, because I have like 6 things that I want to tell everyone that I think that they need to do. So the first one is, instead of thinking about being better, I want everyone to think about being remarkably different from anyone else. So if you're starting, don't think about like, how can I be better than that brand? Or no, it doesn't work because someone will come and beat you with that. I think being remarkably different is such an interesting way to look at things. So for example, there's so much talk about clean beauty. You know how everyone is clean beauty now, right? There is a brand that's come out and said we're dirty beauty.
Oh,
And
I love that.
I love it because it's about creating skincare from the soil, and they like use grounded stuff and they call it dirty beauty. And I was
It's
like,
also just to play
so
because
different.
it shows how silly the whole clean beauty thing
Yes,
is.
exactly. So I want everyone to think about being really different. Second thing I would do is to immediately go and send out your products and gain feedback from 100 people straight away. Those people are going to be everything to you because you need to know how to improve really quickly. I would also say create a VIP focus group, and the breakout hack, like Rach does this really well. Every time she launches a new product or a brand, she has a focus group or multiple focus groups where she asks them questions and then iterates her products based on their feedback. So they feel like they've created the products with her. She has buy-in from them, and then they go and tell all their friends. So immediately she's got inbuilt customers, which I just love. Number 4 is I play pickleball. I don't know if you play.
Oh my God, I forgot about you and the pickleball.
Okay.
You and I were talking when we met. You were like going on about pickleball. I was like, I feel the same about netball.
Oh, do you really?
Yes.
Still?
Yes.
But netball is for like when you're 11.
It's not for 11-year-olds.
I don't know if I've met any grown-ups who play.
You've met me.
Well, I love pickleball. And my point is that like if I was starting a beauty brand, I would niche down so much into something like to the point of obsession. So it's like, I love pickleball, you love netball. I would create a beauty or skincare brand based on, you know, women who love pickleball
And get chafe from it or
yeah,
something.
you know, something really specific, and like go right down, because then you've got your customers. Even if it's 100 people, like you've got them for life. And I think that like that could be the thing, the product to go to for that group.
I forget who said it, but I was listening to someone speak once, and they pointed out all you need is 100 people that believe in you, willing to spend $100 over the course of a year, and that's $100,000.
That's $10,000,
Oh.
I think.
Oh,
But no, it's exactly. I think you're right. You need
Maybe
to
it
get
was
1,000
people, yeah.
raving fans, basically.
yeah.
And it's like if you have 1,000 raving fans,
Maths is not where I thrive.
but
Clearly.
netball is.
Netball, put me on the court
Yeah.
and watch me slay.
So it's exactly that. You need to have 1,000 people, and if they are so obsessed with you, then that's the one thing that you need. That's all you need, because they'll go and tell other people as well.
Exactly.
But the way to get 1,000 is really to like niche down. The 5th point I want to say is be your own media. So not just like founder content, like everyone is doing this founder content. What I would do is like have like infographics. I would have reports on like the things that you're doing, like beauty reports and information. You know, if people are on this podcast, that's amazing for their brand, right? But if they don't have the opportunity to come on something like this, create your own podcast, become your own media, and like actually get the word out that you are knowledgeable and you're like an authority in the space that you're in.
Because then I guess you get lots of opportunities to talk about things that you're knowledgeable, but then therefore your product as well.
Correct. Because you don't talk about your product at all with the media, But if you are so knowledgeable about that industry, people are like, if she knows so much about that, that product's going to be good. Okay. And number 6, and this is the fun one, is like, if I'm starting a beauty brand, I want to get in front of people in real life. Like, do your activations, do the little pop-ups, like get in front of people, host a little event. When I was trying to sell my book, I didn't know really how to get the word out there. And so I just hosted this lunch. It cost me $2,000, okay, for this lunch. I had to pay for, I think, 15 people. And I just invited like people in business that I knew. And just by them posting about it and then saying like, I love this book, or like, I love being at this lunch, I sold hundreds of books that day. So like, in real life things, there's nothing that can beat
because
that.
the thing is that I guess even if those people didn't have huge followings or anything, a lot of people that do follow them would be keen business owners or
Correct.
keen.
Niching down.
Exactly. Jumping 10 years into the future, looking back at the beauty industry and our sustainability efforts today, what's one thing that you hope the industry does less of? And one thing that you hope we start doing more of to truly earn the title of a more sustainable future in 10 years?
I think it's exactly what you said. One thing that everyone should be doing less of is the overconsumption and the running to the store when there's a trending video. Okay, please, like, really second guess that temptation to go and run and buy something that's trending. I've done that 100 times and it's so silly. Every single time I regret it. I'm like, it's a nice product, but like, oh my God, I didn't need it.
It's also embarrassing. Like, why? Not embarrassing, but why do you want the same thing that everyone else has got?
Yeah, I feel like it's just a dopamine hit. We can't help it. We've got to control it somehow. So I would like that to be the less part of it. The more I would say is, this is going to sound a little bit high level, but more regulation from governments and
yes.
fining companies that do the wrong thing. Just give them a fine for doing crappy business practices, for saying words like eco-friendly without backing it up, using materials that are awful and can't be recycled, or, it has to go into landfill. Like, have like a tiered system. I know in the UK they've implemented that, but just having more regulation
tax
around
the shit
that.
out of people.
Exactly.
That are doing
Tax
the wrong
those
thing.
businesses that are doing the wrong thing. And then the burden is not on the customer. It's on the businesses to do the right thing.
Well, thank you so much.
You're
I feel like you and I
welcome.
could just keep talking, but we've already been talking for an hour. So
Oh, have we? Okay.